I just started the stream there.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay.
6 viewers.
All right, everybody, welcome. This is your SC2 Newscast Weekly Edit. We are on Weekly Edit number 24, and as you can see, anyone who's watched the show before, we have a guest on stream with us. This is Iron Man from the Planetary Workshop map-making team. How you doing, man?
I am doing great today, Emma Zombie. How are you doing?
Pretty good. We're just, we're going to be talking maps today. That's my thing. I love maps. I love the community-driven projects, and there's a lot of. Actually, there's not that much else to talk about, but we're gonna go with maps. Other than congratulations to Liquid Hero on winning DreamHack this past weekend. That was a pretty good thing, and also Leenock last night. He won. He's going to be heading to GSL Code S. To the Code S Finals against Jockg. So 2 new faces in the GSL Code S Finals. So that's pretty exciting. So anyway, we have Iron Man with us today. If you've seen the show before, he's been on the show twice before, talking about maps and telling us some about. He's part of the map making group, the Planetary Workshop, just kind of talking about melee maps in the game, their status, and we're going to talk a little more about that today, actually. So, let's start out with, for anyone who doesn't know, tell us a little bit about your guys' team, what you do, and any other news, just kind of off top.
For anyone who is unaware or who's just not involved in map making, we are the Planetary Workshop. Our acronym is TPW. So if you ever see a TPW on a map, it's probably ours, but we make quality melee maps for mostly tournaments, not just for fun. We're very hardworking, dedicated, and very serious about what we do. We would definitely love to make some money on it, but maybe that will come in the future. But we're just a tournament map making team, and we're striving to get the game out there, make everything good to go. So.
Good deal. So, again, it's another one of the map. There's a few of the map-making teams. The most famous, most known, of course, is Icy Cup, or what used to be Icy Cup is now the ESV TV. So, most people are pretty familiar with them. You guys are kind of the second most familiar group, at least from what I see and I read. Speaking, though, of tournaments, so you guys have made maps for the North American Star League for their semi-open tournament, their Season 2 semi-open tournament. How's that been going? I heard there was some issues at first with some lag problems.
Let's see, we have 9 maps in the NASL Open Tournament, 1 and 2.
I'm gonna bring a few of those up here. Let people kind of get a view of them.
2 things. It's been noted that they're going to take anywhere between 2, 3, and 4 of the best maps, and they're going to put that in the Season 3 map pool for NASL.
For the actual full league tournament.
Yeah. Well, the full Season 3 map pool. They're going to take 2, 3, or 4 of the best TPW maps that were used in the semi-open tournament, and they're going to put them in there. That's one thing. Now, it was reported by Xeris that there was map lag. The FPS, the frames per second, would drop drastically in particular spots of certain maps. And I don't remember all of the maps, to be honest. I know one of them was Ohana, for example.
Which is one of your own.
Yeah, there were clumps of trees. There were just too many trees in one area.
There we go. I'll bring that one.
So, okay, like around the center, around the watchtowers, there are just too many trees. And when you go over that area inside the game, it started to lag for some people. It didn't for me, but you gotta make it work for everybody. So we had to go in there and edit each map. And we had one of our guys, No Current. He went into each map and just recorded it, and just did a fantastic job taking screenshots and saying, hey, in this area right here, this is how fast it is, and in this area. And then so we went back in there and just edited it. So everything is in tip-top shape.
Good deal. Had you ever experienced that with any of your guys' maps before?
No, not really. We hadn't really even thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
We would just create a doodad heavy map like Concrete Dreams and then publish it. And all we would get is, oh, this is a really fun map. But no one had ever commented on lag until it was in the open tournament. So that kind of freaked us out a little bit. It was like, uh-oh.
Excuse me. All right. So have you heard any feedback about which maps they're kind of looking at for next season?
No, they haven't said anything about it. They haven't announced anything concerning it.
What about feedback from the players or from the tournament as to what people are enjoying? Or which ones they're hating?
As far as player feedback, we've only had like a couple of those, and they were seen in-game during the tournaments.
Oh, okay.
One player would be like, oh, I hate this map, or oh, this map is so big, or something like that. That's the only feedback we have. But we do know that people will generally... we've kind of figured out that players will choose which map they want to play after the first map.
Mm-hmm.
And these matches are best of 3, so they would choose, the second and the third map. And we've kind of just had a handful of maps that were played mostly, like Artifice, Ohana, Odyssey, and, and there was like 1 or 2 other ones, and things like that. So we kind of have an idea of what the players like, but we don't really know how the maps will still be decided just yet.
All right. So is there, are they looking, or have you heard, are they looking to maybe continue working with you guys for future seasons?
That is unknown at this point because the season is kind of a little while, so we have no knowledge of whether they're going to do things with us for Season 4. We don't even know if NASL will be around for Season 4.
Well, for season... Well, what I meant was more... but for Season 3, pertaining to like a new set of maps, like for a semi-open tournament or anything like that?
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely possible. We don't really know at this point. We're just more concerned, NASL is more concerned at this point for getting getting the finals finished and the playoffs and everything. And, we're more concerned about which maps are going to go into the map pool for Season 3. So we don't really know what's ahead of us right now.
All right. So, speaking of maps, speaking of the NASL, or, excuse me, moving past the NASL, and tournaments using kind of community-driven maps, or using the community-driven teams. We talk a little bit about your thoughts on the WCG. In case anybody doesn't know, the WCG has gotten with ESV, the map-making team, who, of course, were formerly IC Cup, and they had them not create new maps, but just kind of to rehash Blizzard maps or old ladder maps. So, and you've seen those, I'm sure. What are your thoughts, just from the whole thing, the maps themselves, but also the idea? Oops, that was wrong. There.
It's just, I think a lot of people understand, well, there's really 2 point of views of it. People are like, well, okay, we like that you added a mana depot to prevent wall-ins at your main,
Mm-hmm.
And they
let me
are
stop you right
okay.
there for a second. Actually, what do you think about the manor depots? Because with the drone drilling thing, is it even necessary anymore? The drone drilling micro trick?
I don't think I've ever seen that trick, but I think as far as mana depots go, I think it just depends on the map.
Okay.
It depends on rush distance and where the ramp actually is. I mean, if it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Because so the little thing that I'm speaking of is someone figured out a while ago, and it wasn't well publicized until more recently, but that there's a little micro trick where you can take your drones and make them all attack at once, and it makes it kind of drills down a pylon very, very quickly. So if they try to wall you off, you can drill it down very fast. It's a little bit difficult, you just kind of gotta master the little trick, but it is possible, and it is something that people do. And so a lot of people are saying, what's the point of the manor depots? But I didn't know if you guys were aware of that or not. I think there's even a thread on Team Liquid. You can kind of dig around for that. Okay, I'm sorry, I interrupted you on that, but if you want to continue talking about them?
But yeah, I think people are okay with the mana depots, and they might be okay with the textures. Maybe it's like 50-50 in that range. People are freaking out over them disabling cross-spawn.
Uh-huh.
And there's one more other thing that I kind of forgot that they did. But they were basically just freaking out over it, and it's like, some of these maps, like Tal'Darim Altar, I didn't even know that was Tal'Darim Altar until someone mentioned it. It just looks entirely different.
It does look ridiculously different.
I didn't even know it was that map. And, the only one I really like...
Oh,
I like 2 of them.
FYI, the other change was they removed the high yields, which is what the GSL's been doing a lot of.
Yeah, very Terran favored.
Mm-hmm.
Shakura's Plateau and Antigua Shipyards, those are probably my favorite of them all as far as retexture goes.
Okay, I have Antigua. I'm going to bring up Shakura's. There we go.
They at least look more appealing. The rest are just kind of like, nah, I don't really see the point of why you retextured that.
Yeah, one thing I think it's interesting, I like the idea of, I mean, whatever, it's a different look, If someone wants it a different look, then they want a different look. I mean, who cares? And the tournament, at least it's kind of like their own little trademark, I suppose. What I don't understand is the amount of I don't know if you've read through the comments on that, but the amount of just hate that they were almost getting for these.
I think just in general, people are like, well, why would you retexture a map? Like, why would you retexture Metalopolis?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Metalopolis looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie, it really does. And then they just retexture it, and it's like, I don't see the point.